Good afternoon, everyone. Just give us a moment. I'm letting folks kind of trickle in here. So
Morning, West Coast. Okay, it's early. Just
I think we'll give them just 2 more minutes here. Okay, why don't we go ahead and get started? Hey, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Justin Williams. I'm with Rozzy. I lead sales and product development on our sales enablement tools. Joining me, co-host here, Mike Simon with Agent Brief. If you didn't know, we have a partnership. We integrate with each other's products, but what we're here to talk about is less of like our products, but more of a mindset. Um, and so let me go ahead and share my screen.
Mhm.
Go. So the mindset is really to get prepared. I think what your competitors are doing this time of year is, having their holiday parties. They're, day drinking some Kahlua and coffee with everybody and eating cookies. And I think what everybody here is kind of doing is getting prepared for 2026. So what we're going to do is really talk about the mindset of growth and give you a few different frameworks. I think Mike's going to tee it up here with a conversation about fame and what that means for title sales. And really, it's all about relationships. And so, what I'll do is kind of piggyback on that and talk about my background at Amazon and, kind of the learnings we had. They utilize a flywheel effect for growth there, and we've applied that to title. So, Mike, if you want to maybe give yourself a brief intro and then kick it off there, that'd be great.
Sure. Just can I do I need you to let me share the screen?
Yeah, I think you can go ahead.
Okay. So one sec. Let's just do this the right way. Get this up on the screen. There we go. Well, first of all, thanks, Justin, for including us. Yes, we do have a partnership with Razi, and we can talk about that in a little bit. Um, I'm Mike Simon. I'm the founder and CEO of Agent Brief. I've been in the industry quite a long time. Maybe the color of my hair will give that away. And there's a couple of things that I kind of always get to at this time of year. Um, and I want to just thank you all, just kind of for, at least as Justin said, for kind of investing some time right now. Gary Keller used to call this, when I worked at Keller Williams, used to call this winterizing your business. Now is the time of year to not slide into the holidays. Now's the time of year to actually be building and preparing for coming back in January. Your competitors are probably doing what Justin said. I don't drinking Kahlua and coffee. That's a thing. They may be doing that right now. And those of us who are really focused on growth and focused on next year, do that now. Now's the time of year to be preparing for January. So while everybody comes back after the new year and they're scrambling for, okay, what am I going to do this year? You're already there. And a lot of what Justin and I are going to talk about is around that mindset. So I want to keep in mind that word, winterize your business. And we're going to talk about a little bit of that. As I go through the presentation, I want you to just keep in mind that at the bottom of every page, there's a little snippet. So for those of you who are familiar with Agent Brief, it's a snippet that just kind of refers what I'm talking to a feature on Agent Brief. If you're not familiar with Agent Brief, you want to set up a demo, we can do that some other time. So I apologize in advance if some of you are not familiar with our product, but this again is not about Agent Brief. This is about mindset. This is to have a little fun, to kind of talk about what we should be thinking and how should we remind ourselves, kind of what business we're really in. And I offer this up a lot in our conversations with new customers when I say, what business or what skill do we all share that makes us successful? And typically, the skill that makes us all successful is not our knowledge of the title industry or lien searches or how transactions are closed or anything like that. It truly is our relationship building skills. And I would venture to say in my 35 years in the industry that those who are the best at developing relationships do have the best shot for success. So a lot of technical skills, yeah, sure, they're important. But again, we are in the people business. We're in the relationship business. And our customer base, the real estate agents that we service, are relationship-driven creatures. So as we go through this, keep in mind that we are relationship builders. Nothing in our industry starts, stops, begins, ends without a relationship being built. And I would offer that, again, that real estate agents tend to do business with people that they have good relationships with, people they like, people who are attentive to them, much more so than people with maybe even better technical skills. So relationships do matter. So this presentation, it's short, it's sweet, it's a little bit funny here and there. I hope you enjoy it, but it really is about how to win more agent relationships with timely touches, and it's all about mindset. FAME is a shortened version of something some of you may have heard me say before, which is the 5 key features of Agent Brief. Find, follow, monitor, alert, engage. We shortened it down and moved some of the letters around because it was sexier for marketing. So FAME is a shortened version of the key things that Agent Brief does, but we've taken it away, as I said, outside of Agent Brief and put it into a presentation not product related, but mindset related. So with further ado, here we go. So first and foremost, Building relationships is not a moment in time, right? So many people, I remember in the beginning days of getting Agent Brief out there, people were like, how many title orders are you going to win for me if I use Agent Brief? And I say, I don't know. But I can tell you that over time, the more agents you're speaking to, the more relationships you create, the more trust you develop with real estate agents, the better shot you have of winning business, which is why I say building relationships is not any one moment in time, but it is multiple moments over time. So you have to remember consistency matters, being present matters, meeting agents where they are matters. We're going to talk a lot about that in this presentation. So, second thing is that timing matters. First mover advantage in our business is not something that I want to minimize. I want to maximize, right? The thing about knowing about an agent, knowing about an agent's activities before your competitors does matter, okay? And I would venture to say that he who gets there first has the better shot of winning a new piece of business. So my good friend Ricky Bobby will always say this: if you ain't first, you're last. So whether you're using Agent Brief or anything else, getting in front of an agent at the moment in time where they need you before your competitors is the first thing you need to focus on, is getting to them first. Because I think he also says if you're not first, you're the second, or you're the first loser. So keep in mind that as you go through and use data tools, as you do your relationship building, getting something first is not a negative. It's not something that you should shy away from. It's something that you should leverage. So keep in mind, first mover advantage is critical to relationship building. This thing is about past success. So we spend a lot of time looking at the past as some indicator of future opportunities or future success in our business. This is a mistake in how people use data. So would I say that does past success or do past transactions absolutely guarantee future results? I would say, well, in the case of my favorite ex-quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, it does not. Your past success is not an indicator of your future opportunities. Your future opportunities are things you need to pay attention to, you need to nurture, you need to build around. If you have the right tools and you can leverage data in a way that will allow you to leverage that, sure. But at the end of the day, we have to stop worrying about what we've done in the past and start worrying about what we're doing right now or what we're doing in the future. And then finally, a lot of you who know me have heard me talk about the historical data dilemma. There is an overabundance of focus in our industry about looking at past information as some indicator of future opportunities. And I would offer to you say that that sales opportunities do not exist in historical data. They do exist in data that is actionable and current. So again, in your relationship building, if you're looking at what happened, who did what with who cheated on me, what did I win, what did I lose, is my name associated with the transaction, you're focused on the wrong things. The thing that you should be focused on is what's happening now, what's happening next. So this over-reliance when it comes to data in looking at the past as some strategic benefit to you to say, I know how many transactions an agent did with XYZ title company, ABC title company, EFG title company. It's fine. It's good baseline, but it is not providing you anything that's actionable, anything that's current, and it is not a new opportunity. And I get into these conversations virtually every day in talking about data where people say, well, Mike, I don't see this transaction, or I don't see my name associated with this, or I know this agent did more of these with me than anybody else. Fine. That's okay. It's something to pay attention to, but it is not an indicator of what's coming next. So this idea that I'm going to worry about all of the past transactions, or I need to deep dive into all this old data to somehow give me an indication of what my opportunity is going forward, I say there is none. Your opportunity going forward, it is what is happening right now in an agent's life, what is about to happen in an agent's life, and you getting in front of them to do that. So again, actionable and current data versus historical data will help you in your relationship building activities. So what is fame? Fame is really a mindset about relationship strategies, okay? That there are several things you need to do, whether it's with Agent Brief or any other data platform. There are things that you need to do to develop relationships. Number one, find and focus on the agents that matter. And I can tell you, we spend a lot of time. People say, well, Mike, I want to follow every agent in XYZ County. Well, every agent doesn't matter. Okay. 40% of agents churn every year. 60 some odd percent of agents make less than $50,000 a year. Focusing on the agents that matter, the ones that are doing production, is critical. And I hear a lot of arguments. Well, Mike, I want to get in touch with the newly licensed agents because if I can develop a relationship with now, they'll remember me in the future. Great, in the future, wonderful. But what are you doing right now? Because you have to pay your bills, right? You have to earn money today. So really a focus on the agents that matter, the ones that are doing production, I would say is number one part of the FAME strategy. Two, constant analysis of their activities. This is prospecting, right? Now, whether you do prospecting manually or you find a tool that can prospect you through some form of automation, prospecting is a full-time job. It is the thing that we like the least. It's right up there with cold calling, but analyzing agent activity, understanding what an agent is doing at any given moment in time is critical. So having a tool or having a mindset or having a process where you are constantly prospecting for new opportunities, that is what is going to, again, present you with a reason to reach out to an agent, which gets me to number three, which is messaging and engaging, okay? You need to know about this stuff, right? So a message to you somehow to get alerted to, hey, this agent that I care about, this agent that I want to build a relationship with, this agent that I've done business with in the past, they have a thing, they have something happening, some sort of event, some sort of transaction event. You need a way, a tool, a mechanism to get alerted to those activities. And then finally, engagement with a purpose. We all have made the mistake to doing something that we all hate, which is cold calling. Well, I would offer to you that when you look at historical data and then you call agents and you see that they have a lot of production and you reach out and you call an agent and you try and pitch your services to an agent without understanding, do they even have a need to be speaking to me, is a challenging and probably ineffective way to build relationships. Engaging with agents at a moment in time when they need you, engaging with agents on a consistent basis, being there, meeting agents where they want you is very, very different and actually much easier than cold calling and saying, hey, this is Mike from Acme Title. We've been in business since 1902. My grandmother started the company. She's still with the business. These are all the reasons why you should do business with us. And the agent says, that's awesome, Mike, but I don't have any transactions right now. So maybe next time when I have an opportunity, I'll give you a call. You basically spent a lot of time positioning yourself, but not positioning yourself with some form of an outcome. And the outcome is something that you need to focus on. If there is an activity, if there is an event, if there is a reason to reach out to an agent, they are more apt to take your phone call. They're more apt to engage with you. They want to speak to you because they need your help. So I would say that engagement in ways that create relationships and trust is the final piece to this solution. So remember, title sales are relationship driven first and foremost, and your relationships are created through consistent engagement. Remember, not a moment in time, but moments over time. So why do reps miss the moment? Probably because prospecting is a full-time job. Okay. The challenges of prospecting is timing, is unreliable, bad data. There's no automation, there's no notification features you have, but timing is not a luxury. It is a necessity. It's your superpower. It is what you need to build a repeatable rhythm for knowing who to call and when. So whatever tool you use, having some way to receive alerts, notifications, information that says, hey, title rep, Bob, the real estate agent, has a new listing, has an open house, he has a closing coming up, he has a status change, he went into contract. These are reasons that agents want to hear from lots of different folks around the real estate transaction, but most notably, settlement service providers like us. So, why and how you get some form of real-time alerts to know when agents have activities that gives you a reason to reach out to them is good timing for you. It is a need for the agent, and also it eliminates the dreaded cold call. You're calling for a reason. It's the now, it's the reason, it's the opportunity. This is now taking your touches, the touches that are critical in developing relationship, and making them so much more impactful because there's a need. And again, agents who need you are much more apt to talk to you and ultimately give you a shot and want to do some business with you. The agents who matter, there's really two categories, right? Agents that you want to retain, the ones you currently have and you want to build your share of wallet with them, or the ones you want to win, prospects, and build your market share. So whether it's wallet share or market share, you've got to be focusing on the right agents. So again, volume matters. Which agents are doing business, I would say, should take the majority of your time when it comes to prospecting. Following agents, monitoring agents who've had one transaction over the last 5 years, newly licensed agents, agents who used to be great but aren't great anymore. They're a time suck. So focusing on agents that are producing is critical to your success. Now, we could say that everybody's going after the whales. Okay, so don't go after the whales, go after the dolphins, go after the smaller fish, but go after agents who have some reflective transaction volume that's going to give you not just one moment in time, but multiple opportunities throughout the year to win a piece of business. The other thing that people tend to shy away from is looking at the competitive landscape. Okay, I would offer to you that the competitive landscape should be viewed in this lens: vendor diversity. You want agents who are using multiple suppliers in your segment because that shows you that there's, again, not tremendous loyalty, or they are malleable and pliable and interested in working with other providers. When you see a real estate agent working with one provider, I don't know, is that a joint venture? Do they own a title company? That would give me pause. But when I see diversity, now I know that this agent is willing to listen. Now, of course, as the incumbent, you want more, as much loyalty as you can garner. But when you're prospecting, you want to see agents who have diverse relationships, because the more diverse relationships they have, yeah, the better there is an opportunity for you to break through that noise. So again, keeping mindful of that. So the prospecting formula when it comes to fame is all about high volume. I say I want to see an agent who's very, very busy. Two, lots of listings, because listings are the newest of all opportunities, right? That's going to give you transaction volume. But then finally, that vendor diversity. And when you have all three of those things in place, volume of business, new listings, and a diverse base of vendors that they deal with, your outreach is high intent. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for you to be very, very mindful of your time. Respect your time. Reaching out to agents that are high value, high intent, that can deliver more transaction opportunities to you. Again, that's going to be a much more successful prospecting formula than casting this wide, wide net of everybody and anybody, and I'll take any piece of business. This is going to be much more valuable to you in focusing on the agents that matter. Analysis. Okay. Now, with Agent Brief, okay, we automate prospecting. Now, however you decide to do it, whether you do it manually, you have an assistant, you have some tools in place that can help you prospect. Prospecting is the indicator for the future opportunity. Remember, I would rather you spent your time looking for all the new opportunities that an agent has than recapping and rehashing and reviewing all of their historical data. So what you're looking for are moments in time that agents actually are waving a flag and saying, pay attention to me. New listings, status changes, pendings, closings. These are activities that agents put into the MLS for the sole purpose of calling attention to it. Yes, they have to do it, but their point here, their intent here is they want people to know what they're doing. They are waving that flag. They're saying, pay attention to me. So when they put these things into the MLS, it is designed to maybe expose a listing to more of their peers, other real estate agents, other brokers. They want their listings, they want their activities uploaded to the consumer portals like Zillow and Redfin, things like that. Okay, but they are at the end of the day also letting settlement service providers know when you can see it, hey, I've got this new thing, I've got this listing, I need help, I could use your help. What do you got? What can you offer me? So when you're looking and having a tool that analyzes activity, and you have some process, which we'll talk about next, of alerting you to those activities, you've basically eliminated cold calls. And who doesn't want to eliminate cold calls? So by eliminating cold calls, you are taking action when agents need you the most. So now every touch, every time you reach out to an agent has a purpose. Will this convert 100% of the time to a new relationship and a new title order? Definitely not. But again, going back to slide one, relationships are moments over time. So the more you are paying attention, the more you reaching out with a purpose, the more that agent is going to start to recognize you as a provider with tremendous value, not somebody who's just dialing for dollars. Engagement. Oops, did I miss this? Sorry, messaging. Okay, so this whole idea of messaging, this whole idea of alerting is, again, gives you timing and gives you relevance. Okay, so when you have a tool that can notify you in real time, hey, this agent is doing something, instead of you calling up at a random moment in time saying, hey, I'm just checking in, or hey, let me tell you about my title company, or let me tell you why we're great, or tell me all the things we can do for you, and you're not identifying there is an opportunity to be talking to this agent, you're costing yourself time. It's time is money. It's valuable. When you're just pitching your business, you're not building a relationship. But when you call up at a moment in time that matters, hey, I saw you have this new listing at 123 Main Street. Let's talk. You are building a relationship. You are meeting the agent at a moment in time where it's relevant to them. You are able to ask questions. How can I help you? What do you need? How can we work together to make this transaction smoother? So in that regard, they are not buying your company, your brand, your products, your service, your price. They're buying you. So when you focus on moments in time, alerts, getting in front of agents when the need exists, your conversation is going to go much smoother with the real estate agent because you have something to talk about. How many times have I heard reps tell me, hey, Mike, when I get a hold of a real estate agent, we have a good conversation, we speak for an hour, and I get to pitch them my entire suite of services, they will call me the next time they have a transaction. I guarantee you that success rate is probably less than 10% because the muscle memory is not being created. You have basically pitched everything other than what an agent really wants to buy, which is you. They want you. They want your relationship. They want you paying attention to them. So again, timing is going to matter. Alerts are going to matter. And all of these tools essentially will go into creating a stickier conversation with the agents that you're speaking to. And then finally, engagement. Okay. Real estate agents want to work with folks that are reliable, right? They want to work with people who meet them where they are. Now, agents are all over the place. You don't know where they're promoting, you don't know where they're marketing, you know what they're doing. But at the end of the day, their job is not to find you. Your job is to find them. Okay. So when you get to an agent at a moment in time where they need you, okay, and you are showing up for them and you are paying attention to them, okay, this is what matters to real estate agents. Timely, personal, professional, consistent. This is the things that agents, whether they say it out loud or just think it to themselves, this is what they're worried about. Did Bob from the XYZ title company call me? Is Bob paying attention to my business? Is Bob there when I need him? Does Bob have an answer to my business challenges? You are no longer chasing deals. You're building mind share. You're building equity. You are communicating with an agent in a way where they now recognize that you're paying attention. So agents want reliability. They want consistency. They want you to show up. They want creativity from you. But at the end of the day, what does a real estate agent care about, right? Given the fact that most agents, 60+%, are making less than $50,000 a year, they want easy, fast close. They want to get paid. Are you the guy? Are you the girl, that you the woman that can actually help the agent? Well, I would venture to say to you that finding agents, monitoring their activity, getting alerts to their activities, engaging with them in a reliable, purposeful way, in a reliable, purposeful amount of time, is showing an agent something very, very different than what they're normally seeing. Okay. So stop chasing deals, stop chasing one moment in time, chase mind share, chase equity, chase consistency, because that ultimately was going to pay off. And I would probably, offer to you guys that the more agents you speak to, the happier you guys are. The more agents that you're speaking to that are producing and have volume, you're even happier. And the more agents that you speak to that are busy, that you can get to at the right moment in time, that's the stuff that's going to convert first to a relationship, second to trust, and then third and finally, that's what's ultimately going to deliver you more referral opportunities. So, quick recap: find the agents that matter. Okay. Make sure that you have a tool, whether it's manual or automated, that is analyzing their activity. Automate your prospecting to the best that you can. It will save you time. It'll save you money. It'll save you aggravation, and it will help you focus on opportunity, not history. Figure out a way, set up alerts. One of the funny things that I hear from new users of Agent Brief is, hey, Mike, I followed all these agents, but I'm not getting any notifications about agent activity. Well, I said, well, when you set up Agent Brief, did you enable or disable notifications? People say, well, I don't want my phone blowing up all through the day with all these alerts. I said, well, that's the point, is you need those alerts. You need to have some tool that tells you this is a thing. So I always tell users of Agent Brief, set up a tone, set up a cash register, set up something different so that when you hear that bing, that cash register, that alert that you've set up specifically that says, hey, this is a thing about a new business opportunity, you prioritize that above everything else that you're doing, because these opportunities, these moments in time, are critical. And then finally, make sure you're engaging in a way that creates relationships. Again, agents buy you first. Agents buy people first. Agents want relationships first. Then it's product and service and fees and all that other stuff. But you've got to understand that the relationship building part of our business has not gone away. With all the technology that's out there, even AI, relationships matter. So you've got to show up first. You have got to build better relationships. And if you do those two things, that being first, building better relationships, garnering trust, being there when the agent is looking for you, not when you're trying to pitch something, but when they need you, that's going to be the critical element to winning more title orders. I'm going to move past this and just say that out of here, what I want you guys focusing on is, as we end this piece and we talk about timing and we talk about relationship building, I want you to really focus on this one thing, that the first 24 hours is critical. Okay. When an agent puts something into the MLS and that thing is shown out into the world, that is the land grab. That's what you're looking for. So if I could say anything about data, about timing, about accuracy, about frequency, about relationship building, the end of the day, this is not something to shy away from. Getting there first, being speedy, being top of mind. There is such recency bias in our business that you have a competitive advantage if you are the first mover. So, whatever tools you're using, just remember that getting in front of them, being in front of them when the need arises, that's the one thing that I could always point to that's going to start more conversations for you. That surprise, that relevance, that acknowledgement that, hey, this title rep is really on their game. You want to be known that way. And that's what we're after here. So, if there is more questions about Agent Brief, happy to answer them. But really, what I wanted to quickly run through for you guys was that whether you're using Agent Brief or anything else, finding agents that matter, analyzing activity, getting alerts, doing reliable, consistent engagement, that's the thing that's ultimately going to convert into new business opportunities for you. If anybody is interested in a demo, if you're not an Agent Brief customer, please use that QR code. And yes, that is our special Razi pricing right there. That is our 50% discount. If you, again, as part of our partnership, we've basically knocked essentially half of off of our monthly expense, and that's going to be available to anybody who uses that QR code.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate your time, sir. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. So, and okay, so Mike kind of went over fame and the fact that we are in a relationship business. I think what I'm going to try and do here is talk more about the business of the business. I spent 3 years at Amazon doing corporate sales, and one of the things that they make you do on day one is read a book called Good to Great by Jim Collins. It's a good read. It's good stories, but more to the point, it's got some really good ideas. And one of those is the flywheel effect. And again, this was like religion to Amazon. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to apply the flywheel methodology to your title team, and then how that corresponds to utilizing the FAME framework to grow the revenue side of the business. And I think, one thing that Mike brought up was, relationships aren't built on a moment in time, it's over time. It's the same thing with your business. And what the flywheel kind of talks about is it's not one big idea that's going to, take your business from one stage to the next. It's really over time investing in disciplined efforts that prove to grow your business. Because this didn't happen overnight. You can see, Amazon was in this rickety old hospital building in the outskirts of Seattle, and now they've taken over all of downtown. It's actually quite phenomenal. This wasn't built overnight either. And we can kind of skip through this. This was just meant for a laugh. But what the flywheel kind of talks about is it's boring. You're investing in the little parts of your business every day, trying to make them better, and over time, it becomes easier. At first, these boring things are tough. You got to get up in the morning and do it. But the more that you do it, the more friction gets removed, and the faster the flywheel spins. And at Amazon, they have these core leadership principles. And the reason the first one is called customer obsession is that's because where everything starts. Start with the customer and work backward. And in Amazon's terms, this is the napkin that the author and Bezos drew to map out Amazon's flywheel. And the flywheel really talks about focusing on the inputs you can control that drive customer satisfaction. So in retail terms, it's like focus on lowering your costs so you can offer lower prices and you're going to satisfy more customers. The more satisfied customers you have, the more website traffic you'll see, which attracts more brands to sell on Amazon, which increases the selection people can buy. And so long as you're offering these lower prices, you'll see growth. Different industry, but the principle stays the same. And when we talk to title companies, what customers value is predictable and secure closings. That's what satisfies your realtor partners, your lenders, the consumers. They want to know that my transaction's secure, it's going to go to the right bank account, and it's predictable. You're going to deliver on time, accurate service. And the more that you do that, uh, website traffic doesn't mean a whole lot in this industry. It's more about the strength of your referral network. And during these transactions, agent A brings in the deal to you. Well, there's a non-directing agent, there's a lender that you might not know. So as long as you impress upon them with your predictable and secure closings, your sales team follows the same principles, be on time, have a good reason to reach out to your non-directing agents, be on point, know when they have new listings come through. If you implement the same framework and these steps here, in these moments in time, that's where you can really start to satisfy more customers and grow that referral network. And if we just kind of break it down a little bit, you know, apples to apples here. So Amazon's customers, where they start with and work backwards, their website visitors value lower prices. A title company, lenders, realtors, consumers, they want to know, is my commission check going to come on time? Is my transaction going to close on time? And ultimately, the more that you provide those predictable and secure closings, you'll have the opportunity to get more referrals in the door. We have a service called Hot Leads where we track those properties that you have closed in the past, and when they go back on the market, we let you know. It's a really good reason, in addition to the data you see from Agent Brief, to reach out to a new realtor and get that piece of business. And ultimately, these moments in time where you have a non-directing agent where the file's coming to a close, you want to have a post-closing interview with them. Was this favorable? Do you have any other listings hitting the market soon? Utilize those moments in time, utilize the framework on the sales side, focus on providing those predictable and secure closings so that you're impressing upon people your value. And you'll be able to see, it's a different industry, but it's the same flywheel. You will see this referral network grow and focus on those moments in time, on that frame messaging to bring more people to the closing table and provide that good service. And I think you'll see some good growth here. And so we provide tools. We've integrated our data into the CRM along with Agent Briefs data. And for folks on this call, we're offering December and January free to get prepared for 2026. So if you scan that QR code, if you reply to any of my emails, I'd love to spend some time, answer any questions about the presentation here, and share with you what we're working on. So if there's no questions in the chat, let me check here. I think we're good to go. Mike, do you have any parting thoughts you want to share, brother?
Oh, parting shots. Yeah. Guys, this is a really interesting year, and I think that 26 is going to be a pretty banner year. I'm pretty excited about what I see prospect wise, and what I see for the industry. So again, to reiterate what Justin and I have been talking about, this is the time. Okay, find tools and find mindset and break some old ways of thinking. Is really kind of the genesis of what we were talking about today. So at this moment, thinking about your business for next year, thinking about how you're going to be developing new leads, thinking about how you're going to be using data. This mindset shift, I encourage you, whether it's Razi, Agent Brief, other things that you're using, this whole idea of building your relationships, understanding that it's not a moment in time, it's moments over time, it's going to serve you well. And again, I know that from Justin's perspective, my perspective, we're here to help. Look forward to talking to all of you in 26. And again, thanks so much for attending this morning. Sorry, didn't realize I wasn't on camera.
No, thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time. There is a recording of this, so I will be sending it out later. I wish you happy holidays. I hope to talk to you before 2026 so that you are taking that mindset approach. But happy holidays. Enjoy the new year. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.